This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, which will be a hybrid event this year happening September 8th through 11, 2021. And joining me right now is Martin Turenne. He is the CEO and director of FPX Nickel Corp. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is FPX on the TSX Venture. Martin, good to see you again. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Robert. Good to see you too.
It's great to see you. So I wanted to start off with an update because we actually did an interview, or we published our last interview literally almost to the day a year ago, which that last one was published on July 28th, 2020. So love to get an update. You know, what are some of the highlights from the company, I'd say in the last year or so?
Yeah, it's been a really busy year for us, probably the busiest year in the company's history. So, right around the time that would have been published, you had Elon Musk making the call for the mining business to deliver more green nickel. So the interest level in nickel has gone up hugely over the last year. We published a preliminary economic assessment on our Baptiste nickel deposit, which is located in British Columbia. It's one of the largest nickel deposits in the world. And that economic assessment showed we have a very robust project with the ability to produce nickel at a very low cost. Since subsequent to that, we raised over $20 million in a couple of different financings. We've had analyst coverage initiated by a couple of prominent Canadian brokerages, and we've been adding significantly to our team to advance the project to the next stage or milestone, which is really the delivery of a preliminary feasibility study. As well as looking at some exploration potential on some other targets we have within our land package, where we think we can significantly increase the amount of nickel tonnage we have to find.
So what would you say, I mean, it may seem obvious to most, but what would you say is some of the significance of getting that PEA, the Musk announcement, getting the financing? What about these news events should shareholders or potential shareholders understand more so? Like, is this all part of the genesis of junior mining nickel company?
Yeah.
Love to hear your thoughts
there. Yeah, sure. So I mean, I think you start at the macro level and you say there's a lot of nickel going into electric vehicles and into stainless steel. And if you're a believer that more people are going to be driving EVs in years to come, you have this effectively brand new source of demand. And the question then becomes, which of the companies with the deposits that can be the next generation of nickel mines that can step in, come into production and meet some of that hugely growing demand we see in the nickel market. And that's where, a company like FPX comes in. So as we advance the deposit, as we move it closer to that ultimate permitting stage and into construction and ultimate operation, we believe that we're one of the few companies out there that can help to meet that growing demand and do it in a way that is not just large in terms of the scale of the project that we have, but also do it in a way that is environmentally friendly. So we've done a lot of work and disclosures to describe the low carbon footprint that we envision at our project, which is hugely important when you think about nickel going into EV batteries. So a lot of things are aligning here in the nickel market at the macro level, and they're perfectly timed to the advancement of this project so that we can be there to meet that growing demand.
So then, from what you can tell us, I mean, what are the next steps then? Is there fast track status because there's all these green initiatives out there to get, sustainably produced nickel? Where do we go from here?
Yeah. Well, I'd say, actually I'd argue there's a huge disconnect in the market right now in the way, let's say, companies like Tesla or other EV startups and battery startups are being valued. There's a lot of money being thrown at those companies, whether they're automakers or battery makers, but there's not yet a lot of money being thrown at the mining companies. And that's the next sort of stage, I think, in sort of how investment capital flows will start to action their funds on this thematic of electrification, is ultimately going down to the level of the companies that will supply those metals. For us, we look at our strategy as having sort of a dual track approach. The first is advancing and de-risking Baptiste, which is that main nickel deposit, forward to the pre-feasibility study. Beyond that, though, a lot of drilling at another target we call Van, which is located just adjacent to Baptiste, within about 4 or 5 miles or so. And we think that van target actually has the potential to be a larger and or higher grade deposit. We're doing the first drilling at that van target this year to see what we have there. So that's one of the huge, I think, catalysts and news flow items people should be looking for here over the next few months.
Very good. Well, with that, Martin, where can our audience go and find more information about FPX Nickel?
So our website, fpxnickel.com, has our corporate presentation, a lot of good information on our projects and our people, and also Twitter, FPX_nickel, a lot of information, not just about the company, but about the nickel market for those who want to find out more about what's going on in the world of nickel.
Very good. Well, Martin, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck, stay safe, and I look forward to our next update, and I potentially even seeing you in Beaver Creek. So look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, in real life, right? Yeah.
In real, this is real. Come on, look, I'm touching the tree. But I appreciate that. And again, my name is Robert Kraft. We're a host of SNN Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, which will be hybrid. That event will take place September 8th through 11, 2021. Thank you again for listening.